And good morning and welcome to the VSA Capital 5 Minute Morning Miner on Tuesday, the 3rd of June. Looks like the weather's going to turn today, Paul. We might get a bit of rain later.
Oh, the wife doesn't want to hear it. She wants to do the cricket this afternoon.
Well, fingers crossed for her, but I wouldn't hold your hopes up. You may have an unhappy wife when you get home.
That could be it. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll just stay in the office, right? Don't go home. Right, not a huge amount out today. A few little itsy-bitsy pieces, really, is probably the way it is today. So off you go, Paul. Go through some itsy-bitsy pieces.
Well, it's not too itsy bitsy for the mining services firm in Australia, Perenti, as they announced yesterday. They've signed a $700 million or $1.1 billion Australian contract with Endeavour Mining on a 5-year deal for providing mining services for the Endeavour's Mana gold deposit in Burkina Faso. That's will start on the 1st of June and begins to contribute to 2026 earnings for Perenti. And that particular mine of Mana produces in the order of 160,000 ounces a year. So it's definitely some really good sustaining cash flows for Perenti, that's for sure.
Okay, well, that's good for them.
Yep.
What else do you want to talk about?
We got Artemis Resources, which is AIM-quoted Australian explorer. They've have announced a 5,000-meter drill program as the next stage of exploration on their Carlo gold, copper, and antimony project there in Australia. The Carlo Castle deposit and surrounding area current compliant resources of 374,000 ounces of gold and 64,000 tons of copper. And they're going to test some shallow targets that have been identified by geophysics a little while ago, and some of it is breccia hosted. They realize, so they just want to see, which is different from the shear and fault hosted mineralization that they've drilled in the past as far as this deposit is concerned. And they've got a gravity survey across a greater than 5 kilometer wide apparent intrusion east of Kalgoorlie that they want to target for some potential IOCG copper gold mineralization. IOCG, otherwise not that common in the west of Australia, but as opposed to where the IOCG really large deposits like BHPs are down in the southern part of the country.
Yeah, I mean, Artemis was a real punter's favourite, wasn't it, at one stage?
It was, and David Lenegas was the chairman of the firm for a little while as well.
Well, that's true. That maybe the two are connected. But anyway, it seems to have gone off the boil slightly. There we go. Talking of which, one that again used to be a big favourite of the punters, but again I would say less so now, but is actually slowly making progress. Mkango Resources have done a little deal.
The Mkango has essentially done a bit of a deal here as well. In this case, it's a $750,000 note purchase agreement with the Lancaster Exploration subsidiary that they first announced back in January. It's a merger which would create what they call a vertically integrated global pure play in rare earths. And it's part of ordinary shares of Lancaster being listed on the U.S. NASDAQ exchange. There's also a note to investors of $500,000 US as well. So it's a reach, I would say, into the U.S. market in this particular case on rare earths activity.
Okay, anything else you want to mention?
Only to say that there is a lot of speculation now that the silver price is breaking out, and the idea, or the according to technical charts, to the upside, and that the upside in the nearer term might be as much as 20% on the current price.
Well, look, I think that the bottom line there is that it was trading slightly above 101 to gold. It's now slightly under 101 to gold, but 101 to gold is completely ludicrous. Actually, it had been stuck at about 80 to 1 gold for a long time, and that also was actually completely wrong. So actually, silver against gold has got a huge amount of upside. But I actually still remain bullish on gold. So silver, you should just be uber bullish. And actually, the way to play it, I mean, obviously with all these things, you can buy silver ETFs or whatever. But there are some really good silver miners. Obviously, on the FTSE 100, you've got Fresnillo. But over on the TSX, you've got quite a few silver miners. And of course, as regular listeners know, many of them are based in Mexico. And that's where I'm going this summer to check them all out. So there'll be more news then. But on that note, very good. Back tomorrow, Paul.
See you then.
This podcast has been produced and edited by VSA Capital. It is intended for information purposes and not as investment advice. The information is intended for recipients who understand the risks associated with equity investments in smaller companies. Please do your own research and do not rely on a single source when making an investment decision. VSA Capital may derive fees from this content and seeks to do business with the companies mentioned.